It's an unseasonably wet morning when we visited Longreach Transport Company, a business operating from a back lane in the small town. This is an operation with a difference. The main truck is a veteran 14-year-old Mack Superliner rather than a shiny new expensive rig, complete with high repayments. Dave Bielenberg runs the two-truck transport service supplying livestock services from Longreach. The business has a history tracing back 3 generations to the days of Cobb & Co coaches. The plans are to load 24 decks of sheep from an Outback property tomorrow morning. But the rain has brought dark clouds over these plans. So Dave uses the internet to access the Longreach Met Department's radar. A line of violent summer storms has passed overhead, and Dave says tomorrow morning should be clear in the Blackall district where the sheep are to be loaded. Dave Bielenberg has built a good name for the careful transport of sheep, but the sheep industry has drastically changed over the past decade.
After the wool floor price was removed, we had a big wet that year, and that sort of nearly wrecked most of the carriers around the place and changed things a fair bit. But since then, it's been a very slow recovery, and there was sort of 10 road cranes carting sheep from Longreach in that period. Whereas it come back to, for a while there last year there was 1, now there's 2. That's servicing Longreach. But the thing now is that most of those sheep, when they're sold, I think the grazier's happy just to sell them on the property and just wash his hands of them and get rid of them.
Dave's internet forecast proves correct, and before daylight we're ready to start loading at Athol Station, a property renowned for running high-quality sheep. As soon as it's light enough to see, Dave Bielenberg reverses 2 of his 3 4-deck trailers to the back loading ramp.
The people that are doing well are probably the northern cattle blokes, and as they're coming down they're buying more country out here, they're buying it for the grass because we've had a good year this year, and as they come down they just get rid of the sheep. Most of those sheep either go to slaughter, and that country's just made into cattle country.
Here, it's the end of an era. With collapsed world wool prices over the past 10 years, Athol has been purchased by a cattle producer, and that means the tens of thousands of sheep have got their marching orders. Stockmen and their canine offsiders are keen in the cool temperatures of early morning. One by one, the 4 decks of Dave's dedicated sheep trailers are loaded. The sheep have a reputation for difficult loading, and mobs of ewes and lambs like this are as difficult to load as any. But plenty of hands see the sheep start to flow more or less smoothly up into the truck. With the first trailer loaded, Dave pulls off the ramp, and the second truck of this 24-deck lift swings into reverse to the ramp. Dave Bielenberg drops the loaded trailer and hooks up to his previously unattached third trailer. The second truck is one of Gary Ballard's, an old superliner still finding work in tipper and short and medium haul livestock work. When loaded, driver Stephen Harris pulls off the ramp, and Dave once again reverses the double outfit. Not an easy accomplishment. While many operators have sought the latest in transport technology, the engine room of Dave's business is a 14-year-old Mack Superliner.
Well, it's just an 86 model Superliner, built about March 86. Been going pretty good ever since, and until about 1 million kilometres it put a conrod through the block for unknown reasons, and put a new motor in it, put a 525 in it and an 18 speed gearbox at that time, and it's been going for about another nearly 700 kilometres since then, and hasn't been touched in the last 700. Basically been pretty good.
There's a mixture of emotions to see the sheep leaving. His second trailer loaded, Dave again pulls away as the Ballard truck plays its role in this dusty ballet. The loaded trailers are dropped in line ready for the final hookup. Dave wheels his empty lead trailer, the last to be loaded, back to the yards. The loading process takes more than 5 hours. The cool of the morning has developed into the heavy heat of a November day. Livestock and stock workers slow with the heat. At last Dave reverses the single trailer to the ramp. An easy job compared with backing the doubles. Handling sheep is a job scorned by many. Dave Bielenberg approaches it in a quiet manner.
No one who carts sheep never gets agitated. They always get agitated. There's no such thing. If you don't get agitated, you say you're a liar. But it's just patience. And when you're young, you sort of run in, you think you can do everything in 5 minutes, and then as time goes on, you realise you can't. Yep. There's no point in trying to bash one or anything, because as soon as you do, you're knocked up, and he's still smiling at you because he's in a woolly coat. And it doesn't sort of worry him too much. And you look back and there can be a couple more thousand to come.
Where'd you get the idea for the knee pads from?
Had a bloke come offside with me one day and he wanted a pair, and I thought they looked a bit sissy and I didn't worry about them. One day in desperation I put them on, and now I carry 2 or 3 pairs in the truck with me. And I wouldn't do without them. Might be getting soft, but my knees are getting softer.
With the sheep loaded, it's time to hook up. The lead trailer is reversed onto the second trailer. The ring feeder slams shut. Air lines and electric cabling connected. Dolly drawbar stand secured. And now the 2 trailers are reversed onto the third. Backing a double is difficult in the extreme. Get this wrong and it can lead to 20 minutes of cursing and temporary insanity. Three trailers, 12 decks of sheep, 120-tonne combination ready for the 250-kilometre leg to the destination, another Outback property near the town of Ilfracombe. It's more than 40 degrees centigrade on the road, and the trucks are distorted through the heat shimmer, making them wobble like jelly. To efficiently run his business, Dave Bielenberg has a full set of trailers for sheep and another full set for cattle. While this gives him the versatility he needs, increased registration costs are one of the main threats to business viability.
All up for my one outfit, and I've got another old yard truck which is sort of not worth selling. Pay about 24 grand.
Just in registration before you turn a wheel?
Yeah, that's just for my main truck plus my yard truck, which does about probably 20,000 a year at most.
The trucks pull up and the drivers check the sheep and have a quick break at a roadhouse in the outback town of Blackall. I asked Dave if owning an older truck outright was a business proposition in these days of 600 horsepower and fuel-efficient trucks.
I'd spent so much money on it that I sort of had to keep it for a little while just to justify that expense. But the thing about it is it's It's got a good rating, it's got a good rear end in it, got the Renault rear end, and it handles well, drives well, and I just had no real major reason to go back into debt so far, so quickly.
Ilfracombe simmers in the mid-afternoon heat. Here lie trailers that made up one of the first road trains of the early 20th century. This is the destination for the sheep, and the trucks pull through the tiny town and drive the short distance to the station where they'll be unloaded. Our journey ends here, and as we leave, the trucks and drivers we've met in this program, along with hundreds of other road train operators, continue making a mile across remote Australia. They and their trucks are the very glue binding the remote communities of Australia's outback together.